This is Kardec Radio for Teens.
And now it's time for real life-changing dilemmas from a spiritist perspective. The Diary of Alex with your host, Mark Smith.
Hello again and welcome to another reading of the Diary of Alex. This time, if you're just joining us, last week we were switched to the Alex Diary. Carol Correa has been reading the beautiful Diary of Belinda. And Alex is a young man who lived about 70 years earlier than the Belinda in our story. And so our story is taking place in the 1930s. Today's story is about our reincarnatory plan. And we can learn a little bit today from Alex about what that means and why that's so important to us. You may remember last week that Alex was in despair, and the reason he was in despair is because his mother has just remarried to a very abusive person, and living arrangements at home are not ideal. So Alex, just in the midst of this despair, receives incredible news. The incredible news that he's made it into medical school. And he realizes very quickly that this is going to be a very positive change in his life. So I'm going to read you a brief diary entry from Alex. Oh, finally, some good news. I can't believe it. My dream has come true. I've made it into medical school. Oh, my goodness, I've been waiting for this for my whole life. Diary, I now feel like I have a higher purpose to my life again. Now I'm going to have the strength that I need to get out of the difficult situation. Now I can study, do my work, and not be so influenced anymore by what's happening in my home. Now I've got this beautiful calling. Oh, how exciting. I can't wait to say more about it because it's just so much excitement and joy. I cannot believe how beautiful this is to be able to finally in my life commit to something where I feel my heart is fully present in it. Oh, how wonderful. I can't wait to say more in future weeks, Diary, about this beautiful, beautiful transformation in my life. So you can see here that Alex is very, very excited about this wonderful new opportunity that he's been given. And one of the questions we might ask ourselves is, why is this call to medicine so transformative in Alex's heart? Certainly, a lot of us would be excited about getting into medical school, but a lot of us might be excited about getting into medical school for the wrong reason. A lot of people decide to get into medical school because they want to make money. But Alex has a calling for medicine, a calling which we have to understand may come from a previous incarnation. In fact, it might be part of the plan that he set up with his mentors while still disincarnated, to be able to have that calling to be a doctor. For Alex, that's something that lies in his heart. It's something very important to him, whereas others may not think so much. We may think, that's not something I really want to do. But that's the thing that we should learn from this, is that all of us have a calling. We just have to listen to our heart. That's where we will have this transformative experiences of the type that we certainly hope Alex will have. And prior to our incarnation, it's important to realize, and if we go to the Spirits book, number 258, we'll see that we chose the experiences that we're going to have in our life, and the milestones that we're going to have in our life, to grow personally and contribute to the community. But it is important to realize that we also have free will to choose whether or not to follow through with these milestones that are coming our way. And for Alex, getting into medical school was really exciting. And it's something that in his own work with his own mentors while he was in the spirit world, this was something that he felt was important to him to grow personally and contribute to the greater society. And through our own actions of love, this is the other beautiful message that we might be able to learn from this. Through our own actions of love, we can show that God's love is real. Remember that Belinda went through a similar experience, and how transformative the act of being a doctor was for her. How when she got into her residency, how much she suddenly felt drawn to the patients and to that as a career choice. So this reincarnatory plan is literally written into our hearts. All we need to do is meditate and look inwards at ourselves. Another thing to realize is that despite any despair, God and our mentors are always there ready to open another door, sometimes a door that we ourselves agreed to open, which will give us a source of hope and a reminder that life is always worth living. You may recall, or having read before, the Gospel According to Spiritism, chapter 14, item 9. St. Augustine, in a beautiful message there, writes that the harshest experiences that we have, the ones that are most challenging, like Alex's experience at home, are a sign that we are just about to experience a renewing turning point for us, that will renew our hope and joy, and that if we look for it, God has left us a little footprint in our life, which gives us another reason to keep going, doesn't it? Which gives us a chance to hear and listen to the new and open doors that are always ready for us. So, because this month is, as we talked about last week, Suicide Prevention Month, the month of September, I think it's important for us to reflect once again on the fact that many people are going through despair. And it's our reminder to those people that in despair, there's also hope. So let's now say a prayer to remind ourselves of this beautiful message. Dear God, thank you for this beautiful, beautiful reminder that even in the midst of despair, loneliness, and the worst types of emotional torment and abuse, that you, God, have laid out in front of us yet another beautiful door that's ready to be opened if we open up our hearts to look for it. Let us remember that there's always a reason to live, because you always provide us with a message that's written into our hearts. We just have to search for it and look for it. So thank you, God, for loving us so much, as much, and even more than we could possibly even imagine. We can do our best to make sure that we love you and others in return, and so be it. So thank you, dear listeners, for another week here with Alex. I look forward to bringing you another segment of Alex's diary next week. In the meantime, just as a reminder that there's some beautiful books out there on suicide that you may be interested in reading if you or someone you know may be experiencing suicidal thoughts. One beautiful book is available from Round Table Publishing, and I just saw it on Amazon only for $6, is a book called Suicide, All You Need to Know. This is a beautiful book with lots and lots and lots of helpful advice from the spiritual world, which you can't get better advice than that, on the issues of suicide. And there's also a wonderful book called Memoirs of a Suicide, which is the memoirs of a person who went through a suicide and what the experience is like afterwards. So definitely it's something that we should study and make sure we understand so that we know that really there's hope, that really there's beautiful, loving energy behind all of our despair. That's the message for today. And to once again sort of provide us with some inspiration, I'm going to be leaving us today with a message that I helped record from a newly translated book, which is just out, called Pills of Trust. Thank you, and I'll see you next week. God bless. The Power is in God, from the Spirit author, Dias da Cruz. From the medium, Andre Moreira, from a newly translated book entitled Pills of Trust. Distanced from the Creator, our being is isolated. In Him is solidarity. Apart from Him is denial and abandonment. In Him is communion and plenitude. Distanced from the Source, the Spirit dives into selfishness. Immersed in Him, we radiate charity. Far from the Father is nothingness. In Him is the force behind all and in everything. Disconnected from faith, our spirit lives insecure, fearful, and lacking. Sustained by faith, our spirit lives in the magnitude and the enchantment of infinite possibilities. Connected to God, emptiness vanishes and lack of support disappears. In the Father, everything is a synthesis, a force and wisdom that creates spaces for inspiration, wonder, and tenderness. Thus, open your heart to access the essential, recognizing the power is in God. Synchronize with Him, and let flow out the wise intuition, which guides you to the fulfillment of your dedicated duties. The fulfillment of these duties will lead you towards creative and unexpected solutions inspired by the awakening of the Source, which is life within us. Yet, remember that God in you is a renewing force, which is expressed through your genuine acts of love and peace. The adoration of our Father above all things transcends ritualistic cults, symbolic and stereotypical forms, while configuring itself in the all-encompassing and spontaneous communion of meaning, spirituality, and faith. In Him is the Source. In you are the achievements. In Him is wisdom. In you are the accomplishments. In Him is order. In you is the obedience. In Him is will. In you is the fidelity. In God you are everything. Without Him, you are nothing.
Dear listeners, we, the Kardec Radio family, would like to invite you to join us in a very beautiful, eternal celebration. And that is the celebration of life. We invite you to say yes to life by joining the Facebook page sponsored and put together by the International Spiritist Federation. Say yes to life. Also, please share the wisdom of the beloved spirits who inspire all of us on this beautiful earth by giving to others books like Suicide, All You Need to Know by Richard Simonetti and Memoirs of Suicide by Yvonne Pereira. We invite you this month and always to engage very actively in suicide prevention. Let us all say yes to life.
This has been Cardiac Radio for Teens. Thank you all for listening.